Go ahead and expand this, okay? So we have the Tower, the Empress. We have the Spirit of this deck here. We have the Strength card, the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Star card, and we have the Hangman. And then the Fool would be where we're living, and we will be living in the third chakra. Okay. And so the energy that's going to be the wild card really is this Fool. And that leaves us with the Temperance in reverse. Also, by the way, the Tower was in reverse. Okay. So down here on Earth, really where we're at is that with the advice of inner alchemy. So I was right when I was saying that it was difficult for us to kind of complete the cycle because we still need to reflect on the inside and figure out what beliefs. Beliefs are very much according to, in my opinion, and what I teach here in the temple is that, the soul connection, the union of the soul, that's more cups. The wands cards are more spirit, so that is your own divinity, but it's the individualized part of it, not the part that melts you back into the collective. And then when we get with the wands and the pentacles, that's a little bit different. It's a little bit more devoid of spirituality. So the beliefs, your thoughts, communications, words, okay, and your beliefs are what start to help and facilitate the manifestation process. So when I see swords, especially in reverse, it's talking about your beliefs and how that begins to create what you perceive from the matrix or the holographic reality. So it's saying here that the beliefs are what we're going to need to heal. And what we're going to need to heal is the fact that there's a door opening up and we're feeling like we can't do much about it. There is a door opening up here and we're kind of saying, okay, I know that I'm healing. I know healing's on the way. I know I got my stuff together, my shiznit together, my sugar honey iced tea together, but I don't quite know what is new for me. I don't quite know who I am now. I don't quite know what to do with others. Within me, things are okay. But as I engage with the external world, as I engage with the material and leave the spiritual, because we are human beings, even though we are spirits in a human form, we are having a human experience, even though we are spiritual beings. Okay, so what's knocking at the door is the fact that we are out of alignment in some way, shape, form, or another, and we are doing pretty okay. However, we'll notice with this Aquarius moon, something has started. A clear, defined understanding and awareness that, okay, there's been a shift here. And I've been healing, I've been collecting my marbles, I've been collecting my common sense. I am beginning to step into myself. However, there still needs to be some type of release, and I realized that maybe in the background, maybe subtly, or maybe kind of blaringly, obviously, some things have been ripped away from me, mostly people, mostly relationships that were courting or holding me down, affecting my power, affecting my personal power. So now I need to come to full alignment, and that sometimes for most of us this means a firm acknowledgement of the cycle, okay, or us acknowledging the cycle and releasing that last little iota of resistance. Okay, that's when this 10 of swords will go upright. So it's interesting here because what this knight is a king is saying is like, okay, I gotta go inside. I gotta do a little bit of reflection because I need to drive life forward, and how I'm gonna drive life forward is by moving into better union with those who I mesh with and releasing those who I don't mesh with. But the thing, the work, the process here is to understand or come into awareness of the beliefs. That's what will shift this whole situation around. Because in the houses of other, the path that we're on, by the way, this is an Aquarius moon, and the rising sign for this spread is Aquarius. I'm just going to put that out there. So, well, the path that we're on is, okay, postponement, sacrifice, surrender, needing to get a different perspective, knowing that the future is going to be bigger, brighter, and better, and the now may mostly suck. There may be people ripped out of your life right now. Your vibe is going to attract your tribe. So if you keep growing, if you keep evolving, and people around you keep staying the same, they're going to be ripped out of your life. because the universe does not like a vacuum. So the universe is going to consistently match your vibration, and if your environment no longer matches your vibration, it will be, you will eject it from your life. You will repel it, or you may be repelled from that environment. You'll notice that as you grow, as you evolve, as you shift, as you change, as you ascend, as you step into your truth, as you stand in your divinity, what will happen, my loves, beloveds, all my divine family, you'll notice that you may be removed from your place of living. The lover that you have may completely be ripped from your life, whether they decide to leave, whether you ask them to go and then something dramatic happens, or the universe may just take you away. They may get a job at a different part of the country. You may get a job in a different part of the country. Your best friend may go away. Your employer may send you away. These things happen, and they're not happening to us, they're happening for us. And I want you to know that this is a divine process of awakening, and it is happening. So you're going to notice that it's not going to be that bad, actually. It's just going to hurt a little bit, because things that you used to love, you're outgrowing. That's what I'm trying to say. You're going to notice that you're outgrowing everyone you used to love, outgrowing everything that brought you joy. Okay, even foods that you used to enjoy won't be in alignment with you anymore. Places that you used to visit, stores you used to shop at, places that you used to go for entertainment, these things are no longer going to be in alignment with you. And we need to allow the process of release. Because the future is bigger, brighter, and better. And we really are purifying the soul, purifying the spirit. But it's going to require receptivity to doing this work, receptivity to sitting in energies, receptivity to, so we might have to release before new comes in. And that's a little bit difficult if you're used to being connected to something that may or may not serve you. And then when you might be alone or without it momentarily, it's usually 1 to 2 weeks, up at the maximum about 21 days before the energy starts to come back to you at a higher vibration. Okay. Because, like I said, what's coming in here is the fact that we're having to reflect on the inside about our passions, our drives, our desires, our vision for our future, who and what we're going to manifest from our spiritual self here in the physical. Okay? And see, that's supported, and we're going to need to acknowledge that we are being let out of cycles that previously were anguishing or previously were destructive to us. And it'll be like we're no longer in love or in bond or in relationship or in connection with mostly people, but things and places as well. And it's going to be difficult because we're going to find that things that we used to engage with on a regular basis don't work. This Two of Cups here is in the third house. So, the skills, the knowledge, the connection, the networking, the sharing of love, bonds ain't gonna work. And then our intellect from the soul here says that, okay, so we will be growing into who we really, truly, authentically actually are. But again, it's a moving away from, it's a removing the spiritual commitment to former things. And that is a healthful, growing, accentuating process. We'll be taking a new leap, a new beginning in the spirit of our own humanity. It's almost as if our galactic, our cosmic citizenry, our cosmic blueprinting will activate. That is something that Aquarius rules over, by the way. Galactic citizenship. So no, we're here on the earth, so we're looking from the bottom up, not the top down. So when you're here on earth, you think the nation is really the country that you live in, but compared to other galactic centers and other galactic communities, really the nation is the planet that you live on. So you're a Gaian, G-A-I-A-N, you're a Gaian. That's who we are. We live here on Gaia. Another thing I'm thinking is that we need to find some type of inner alchemy. The advice here is the Temperance card in reverse. So that's saying that you need to mix and match your insides, not the outsides. Don't worry about how you're going to affect the outside right now, because trying to leverage control over the outsides will help you fail this test. To win this test, to pass this test exam, it's being administered as a collective, so it's not specifically on you, but the whole collective is going through it. Is to mix around your insides, to shift around your insides. Don't worry about the outsides. As you change your insides, the outsides will be quickly mirrored to that. And this is something that can take really quickly. So if you're dragging your feet, you're going to notice that things get worse and worse and worse quickly. And if you're surrendering, because the seventh house where we're heading to is this hangman. So you're going to notice that, well, you are actually deeply, well, okay, so you're going to notice that if you resist this cycle, things will compound in difficulty rather quickly. And if you embrace and surrender to the cycle, like the hangman card, it talks about surrendering, it talks about sacrifice, it talks about the ability to look into a different perspective and seeing things from spiritual eyes, not human eyes. And humans aren't that bad, but humans right now as a collective, since we're deeply entrenched in the darkness, that there is a dichotomy there. Our galactic blueprinting has been removed from us and it's actually coming back. And so that's really the process here. Because our hidden knowledge is that something hasn't died, and that's the truth of who we are. It's just been deeply hidden from us, and we've participated in that cycle, and now it's emerging again. Because the advice here is to step into the connection with the goddess, step into the connection with the higher divinities as they are. So we'll notice that we're finding strength and we're finding support from places, people, and things that we normally wouldn't think because the vibration has shifted. So we were thinking from old vibrations, or our beliefs were centered in old vibrations. As we release those beliefs, we'll be attracted to new places and things that were already around us for the most part, especially if a lot of what you're releasing is work stuff or money stuff. We'll notice that it's not that difficult to step into our new vibrations, but it's gonna only if we're releasing our beliefs. If we're still stuck onto beliefs or how we think things work or how we think things should be, it's going to be difficult because there's a healing here of the collective, of the soul group. The Six of Cups here, especially in the second house, that's a healing of the soul group. And see, it's all led by the North Gate here, which is this 10 of Swords in reverse, and that's in the position of the knowledge, the hidden knowledge. And so it's saying, okay, well, things won't die. Your vibe will attract your tribe, but only if you release. You still need to release. This is a cycle completing, even though the 10's in reverse. You have the Wheel of Fortune upright. So cycles will be completing here. And see, the veil is going to be you trying to control things outside of you. If you just go within and reflect and do the work internally, then the abyss will manifest everything that it is that you want. And those words might be difficult. There's a reason we step inside the temple to discuss things. So with having said that, let me recap here. My findings are that there's going to be a cycle completing here, and it's going to very much have to deal with the physical body. There may be galactic activation codes coming on down through here to the center. And what we'll notice that we're heading is some type of surrender, sacrifice, definitely a new paradigm, a new shift in our spiritual perspective. And it's going to be quite difficult for anyone who's holding on, because what we're being called to do is step into our spiritual self, our higher self, our highest form of humanity. And the collective, this is something that's going to happen on the collective scale. And the thing that's going to be most difficult is that we're going to be moving out of unions. Okay, we're going to be moving out of bonds that no longer serve us. So what we're being called to do in the very now, the action to take, is to do inner alchemy. What this is going to look like is allowing those who vibrate with us, and it could be people, it could be places, it could be things, to come to us, and noticing and acknowledging and owning the fact that it's going to be a bigger, brighter, better tomorrow, today, ain't gonna be that great. So you just make room, and the making room is releasing. You might not be able to overlap your boyfriend, leave one relationship immediately into the next one. You might need to be single for a week or two. You might not be able to overlap your job. That is the overlap that I would normally agree with. Okay, in the materialistic society that we're in today, and it's not always our fault, a lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck, but it's that concept and idea. We might be without a lover for a couple of weeks. We might be without a job for a couple of weeks. But if we are in alignment with our agreement, which is standing in our truth, standing in our own divinity, that we will weather that storm. Now, please, please, please don't be reckless. Don't quit a job if you don't have another one. But again, we may be forced into the tower is in reverse. So whatever upheavals, whatever breakdowns, whatever dissolutions, inciting incidents, shocking events. In reverse, it means you see it coming, or you're not going to lose your foundation. But again, don't be reckless. So, okay, leave a lover and don't look for a new one for a week or two. Sit with yourself. That's fine. Don't put in a 30-day notice if you don't know where you're going next. Don't put in your 2 weeks notice at work if you don't know where you're going next, is what I'm trying to say. But do what you got, and you may find that the universe supports that explosion so that you can free yourself and stand in your own energy. And if you notice that something happens sideways or very suddenly, please, please, please release, especially the belief systems that were keeping you in that environment, so that the universe can prepare something for you. I want to say, by thinking you create it, by acting you receive it. You act according to your feelings, and your feelings are a product of your thoughts. You feel what you feel because of what you're deciding to think, and what you decide to think is because of your beliefs, and your beliefs are because of your programming. So if you cannot change your thoughts, change your beliefs. If you cannot change your beliefs, change your programming. And if you don't know how to change your programming, that's when you need to go to some wise counsel, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a parent, whether it's a family member, whether it's a YouTube channel, an actual reader, a Reiki person, whatever. Okay? But you feel the way you feel because of what you think. You think the way that you think because of what you believe. You believe what you believe because of your program, what you have allowed yourself to own, to accept here in the material. And just be aware of that process. Now, what we need to do to heal is to, again, release. And that's going to drive life forward. And we're going to find that we have courage in places where previously we didn't have courage. And that's going to affect healing for us. Now, the last thing to do here is to step into union with Great Spirit, however and whatever that means for us. Okay? Now, for some of us, it's going to look like we all come from the goddess, and to her we are reborn like a drop of rain falling to the ocean. So that's the looking for the union, looking for the collaboration, looking for the receptivity in everybody, looking out of yourself with an open heart compassionately to the other person, seeing the goddess or the divinity or the higher spirit, the higher nature reflected back to you. Okay, looking for a way to connect with everybody. But that's nurturing something into existence, being open and receptive. It doesn't mean lacking discernment. It doesn't mean being a doormat. None of those things, okay? But that is what will be the single biggest thing that can help us, because everything hasn't died. It's not completely horrible. We're not going to be completely decimated through this. We will survive this cycle, this storm, I want to say. It's just going to be a lot of completion. And if you're low in the evolution of your progress and you're not already towards the end of that cycle, this completion, this being forced to complete something, will be traumatic for you. Okay, so it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you today. Like I said, I will extend this reading, this guidance, this briefing over in the temple. Check the show notes, or what you want to do is you want to go over to vertexofabundance.org. Okay, and the left hand column depends on the profile that you're on, if you're on a mobile, a tablet, or a computer. But if you had a computer, in any device, but you go down and you look for Oracle, and then you'll see a bunch of different series there. This series is called the Lunar Lounge, and this will be titled, okay, New Moon in Aquarius. Okay, please take good care of yourself. Know that I honor you. Know that I praise you. Know that I love you, even if it seems like I don't, like I'm running away from you. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you so much for allowing me the privilege to do so. I believe that you're love and beauty and grace incarnate. Please take good care of yourself. I want to thank you for the mission that you bring, for the journey that you're walking, for the medicine that you bring in this lifetime. Ha'ana. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. Until we read again, until we meet again. Namaste, Dinavat, and Ashe. Aho, Matakuyasin, great family. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.